We begin the program with a special excursion on the Belvedere in Delaware in Milford, New Jersey. Number 146 is pulling an excursion consisting of 3 cabooses. Since 2016, the Belvedere in Delaware has been trying to restore this portion of the line that runs south from Phillipsburg. It was abandoned in 2001. This train ride is one of several attractions during Milford Alive, a special event in town that occurs on the first Saturday of every autumn. No tickets were required to ride the train. We're parallel to a road that most people call the Narrows. As we pass a white Toyota, the driver's probably getting a picture of the train. Soon, a red BMW passes the train along with the white Toyota. The train has stopped, and we will soon be returning to Bridge Street. Also heading south is a white Ford pickup towing a trailer. Safety is a top priority on this road because, as mentioned earlier, it is narrow. More cars are parked alongside the train track. It is possible that they were parked there so that the drivers could visit friends in nearby houses, or so that they could also get pictures of the train. We've returned to the crossing at Bridge Street. Many people wave at the train as it comes to a stop. The ride is over. We'll be taking a closer look at the cabooses and some other equipment behind the train.
Because parents actually really have to talk to their kids, entertain their kids, or interact with their kids.
All the equipment that you see here on the train tracks is being used to restore the line in Milford, so that trains can run south from Phillipsburg. All of this was filmed in 2018. Let's go back to 2017. A typical Toyota driver does not have the patience to wait for this train with only one caboose and one locomotive. It is again number 146, which was built by General Electric. Near the train are several classic automobiles, including a yellow Chevy and a Lincoln Continental. Other people are having fun on the Delaware River, including this water skier. There's also a few kayakers enjoying the water and the sun. Number 146 is ready to go. Since the lights at the railroad crossing do not work, a man has to wave a red flag to stop all cars on the street. A month later, 146 has returned with its caboose. These trains sometimes run on a few other special occasions aside from Milford Alive. Let's take a look at another locomotive that operates on the Beldel. Number 142 is a Chinese Mikado that was built in 1989. It was originally purchased by the Susquehanna Railroad. This train is in Carpentersville and will stop within a few miles. Until the track in Milford is restored, Carpentersville is where the line ends. Here, we catch another video of 142 running north with its passenger train. Passengers get dropped off here to do a few activities, including a quarry maze and some mining. Since it is summer, the passengers were doing some mining. We catch 142 slowly pushing the train back to Phillipsburg. We transition to the Black River and Western to catch another steam locomotive in action. 280 number 60 was originally built for the Great Western Railway in Colorado. Since 1965 it has been running on the Black River and has been attracting lots of rail fans. Both the Black River and Belldale are owned by the same company, the Chesapeake and Delaware. It is now March 2018 as we watch SW1 number 9206 get in position to pull the Easter Express. Everybody's on board and the train makes its way to Ringo's, passing a few dealerships on the way. Since this is the Easter Express, there is a special passenger on board. The Easter Bunny. Everyone was very happy to see the Easter Bunny as he gave the children free candy.
Hello, Easter Bunny. What do you say, Rosie? Thank you, Easter Bunny's helper.
We're now passing the Copper Hill Country Club, one of many golf courses in the state of New Jersey. Here's Aunt Noel with my cousin Nuala. Next, we pass Toad Lane. Somebody has a garden railroad set up by the tracks. And finally, we're at the station in Ringo's. Passengers have 10 minutes to do whatever they want while the train gets prepared for the return journey to Flemington.
Ladies and gentlemen, now arriving in Ringo Station.
That's what our grandpa used to be.
The first thing that most passengers like to do when they get off the train is look inside the museum car. One of the reasons for this is because of the model railroad. (9206) is about to pull the train out of the station. It will then use a siding to couple up to the other end, then get prepared to take the passengers back to Flemington. Note the Jersey Central logo on this passenger car. Even though this portion of the line was once run by the Pennsylvania Railroad, the C&J also operated in Flemington. Bringing up the rear is an Erie caboose. C-140 is used frequently on the passenger trains.
Look, the Delaware turtle. That one's called.
That's your train.
I want to let everybody know that when we bring the train back in a minute or two, everyone's going to be stuck down here. Okay? So we try to keep everyone back on that other side of the yellow.
Thanks to one of the volunteers, we get back to the station in time to catch our train.
So it has to be. Yeah.
Here's my Aunt Noelle again with both my cousins this time. Ula was kind enough to offer some water to Rosie, even though there wasn't much left in her bottle.
They collect solar energy, so they power other things. See, those are empty, but back here where they're black, they're like windows almost. They gather sun energy.
And for riding the train, both girls got a special gift bag. Back in Flemington, we get another shot of 9206 getting ready for another trip to Ringo's. It is January 2018, and even though it's a slow month for Black River Western, there's still lots of equipment for the average rail fan to look at and enjoy. It is now January 2019, and we see a couple of changes. The Chesapeake and Delaware switcher seen here is nicknamed SpongeBob. We also catch an orange 1989 Camaro. Next up are two shots of Engine 60 running to Flemington tender first. This scene was filmed in July 2015. Now, it is December 2015, and 60 has a slightly longer train. One of the cars includes Erie C-140. The angle's the same, but the foliage is entirely different. Not to mention the station, which has a couple of decorations for the Christmas season. On September 1st, 2017, we catch 60 getting prepared for the first passenger train for Memorial Day weekend. With the consolidation out of the way, 9206 can back into the siding with the caboose. Built by Alco in 1937, Engine 60 was now 80 years old. It's time to go. As Engine 60 runs backwards, it is only pulling 2 passenger cars this time. At Flemington, we'll view another locomotive operated on the Black River Western, SW1 number 400. Number 400 has been operating on the Black River and Western since 2010. It was originally painted as Lehigh Valley 112. Then in 2015, to celebrate the Black River and Western's 50th anniversary, it was repainted to this beautiful shade of green. We get a close-up on the knuckle couplers as 400 backs into its train. The engineer will try again to couple up to the cars. The crew and passengers are ready to go. The majority of diesels operated on the Black River and Western are switchers. Not far away from the station, at the crossing of Main Street, we take a look at a much more modern SW1200 RS. Number 8159 is a former Canadian Pacific locomotive. There's another SW1200 RS that operates on the Black River and Western, but at the moment it is being leased to another company in Pennsylvania. This locomotive was filmed in 2015, in the month of August. After 16 years of wearing the old red CP livery, it finally got repainted due to the graffiti, and was also renumbered to 1259. It is May 1st, 2016, as we take a look at the switcher's new paint scheme, passing the station in Flemington with one car. freight trains on the Black River and Western operate between Three Bridges and Ringo's. One night, in the Flemington station, a high rail was making its way to Three Bridges, the drivers making sure that every part of the track is in good shape. In Three Bridges, the Black River and Western has an interchange with Norfolk Southern. On March 2017, an intermodal goes very fast through this railroad crossing. On August 31st, 2017, we catch another Norfolk Southern train heading eastbound through Three Bridges. One hour before catching the intermodal, a slow Autorack unit train was passing through Flemington. This intermodal in the siding is a different train. You'll see more interesting graffiti as the rest of the train passes the camera. A Canadian National Autorack comes up next with unusual CN lettering, followed by a Chicago Northwestern Autorack. That's the proper lettering for the Canadian National logo. As the last car on the Autorack unit train rolls past, we get another shot of the empty intermodal cars. One and a half years later, Flemington was graced by a blanket of snow. And a freight train. An ES44DC is on a triple header with a Dash 8 and a Dash 9. Despite the Autoracks, this is an intermodal. The train is passing under Route 31. You probably can't see the bridge because of the trees. Another intermodal has entered the siding. A pair of ES44DCs are pulling this train. This train has most likely entered the siding to drop off some containers for a customer on the other side of 31. Another good place to watch freight trains alongside Route 31 is on the CSX line, in the town of Pennington. Here, we see an AC 4400CW leading a triple header with a Dash 8 and an SD70 Mac. Unlike Norfolk Southern's Lehigh line, the Trenton subdivision has a bigger variety in engines and freight cars. This train was filmed on the West Delaware Avenue Bridge. At West Trenton, the Trenton subdivision runs side by side with SEPTA's West Trenton line. Here, a pair of ET-44 Oz are heading eastbound with another general merchandise train. It is November 2016. With the freight train out of the way, we have enough time to view other parts of the station. A shiny set of Silverliner 5s pull into the station. They have just re-entered service after having problems with their brakes. They have been on SEPTA since 2010. One year later, we catch more action from SEPTA. The month is October. It is very cloudy, and eventually it starts raining. After filming a mini waterfall, we get another shot of the Silverliner 5s preparing for their westbound trip to Philadelphia. On a much more pleasant Saturday afternoon, the same station provides more action for us. Here, we see Silverliner 4 is getting prepared for a westbound trip. And 4 Silverliner 5s drop off passengers. On the other side of the tracks, we see the Silverliner 5s return to the station. They too will be going west to Philadelphia. Later, more Silverliner 4s finish their eastbound journey. On March 1st, 2019, we catch more action on the West Trenton line. We're now set up in Yardley, Pennsylvania. Due to the snow, a waterproof case was placed on the camera. There's one downside to this, however. There's barely any sound. The first train that we catch on this beautiful Friday morning is a set of Silverliner 5s. 5 cars are in this consist as it heads west of Philadelphia. One interesting fact about the Silverliner 5s is that they have many different advertisements for different companies. The last car on this train has an advertisement for the Philadelphia Eagles. We take a brief look at the signals. The one on top will eventually change to green. Some SEPTA work trucks are in the parking lot, by a substation, which is humming quietly, probably because of the snow. The substation is providing power to the wires over the tracks. Next up is a beautiful 900 series ACS-64. These locomotives have replaced the AEM-7s and the AOP-44. The doors are closing and the train will depart. Before SEPTA purchased any ACS-64s, they had 7 AEM-7s and only 1 AOP-44. Up next, we see a train made up of Silverliner 4s. Once they reach West Trenton, they'll head west to Philadelphia, then head south to Wilmington via Amtrak's Northeast Corridor. While waiting for the Silverliner 4s to return, we take a brief look at the Gulf station nearby. There's an old 1941 Dodge pickup by the gas pumps. Half an hour later, the Silverliner 4s return to the Yardley on their way to Wilmington, Delaware. Philadelphia, the greatest place to watch trains in the state of Pennsylvania, especially if you're at 30th Street. We'll be seeing more action here from SEPTA and Amtrak. We take a quick look inside the station, then make our way upstairs to the SEPTA tracks. Silverliner 4 number 283 is running solo. The reason for this is unknown. Another Silverliner 4, number 445, leads its consist out of the station. .283 is returned, heading towards the SEPTA yards not far away from the station. Followed by a 4-car set of Silverliner 5s. As they pull into the station, we see more Silverliner 4s in the background. We focus on the Silverliner 5s as they leave the station. We will also see the Silverliner 4s that were in the background earlier. More Silverliner 5s leave 30th Street. This set has 5 cars. A light engine move from CSX goes over the SEPTA tracks. Both engines are Jeeps. As another set of Silverliner 4s depart 30th Street, a 4-car set of Silverliner 5s meet up with them. A parking garage provides a very good view of the Amtrak yards. Later, you'll also see some cars that were used for Amtrak's 40th anniversary train. Three baggage cars and an Amfleet are still wearing the Phase 3 livery. They were used for Amtrak's 40th anniversary train in 2011. Amtrak was created on May 1st, 1971. Like SEPTA, Amtrak also operates the ACS-64. Here we see a doubleheader going northbound. In the yards, there's another ACS-64 by 2 P-42 DCs. Amtrak number 572 is a GP15D. It is used for switching and maintenance trains. Another diesel is slowly pushing an Amfleet towards 2 cab cars. Let's enjoy the skyline while we wait for another train. The P-42s seen here are used for the Pennsylvanian. They run on the Keystone line, which is also electrified. West of Harrisburg, however, the line is not electrified. Soon we catch an Acela heading north. More diesels are moving through the yards. One of them is still wearing gray and black. Across the highway, on the other side of the Schuylkill River, we catch a very long CSX doubleheader on the Philadelphia subdivision. This is a former Baltimore and Ohio route operated by CSX. It runs south from Philadelphia to Baltimore, Maryland. This is where we will wrap up Trains of the 21st Century, Volume 1. There will be a Volume 2 and a Volume 3, so keep your eyes open.